been a really long time since I have channeled very hyper specifically into the Twin Flame Collective. And I noticed that there were a couple comments requesting updates on what's happening for Twin Flames collectively in 2025. So the thing about the Twin Flame Collective is there is, yes, a very collective sort of energy. If you are someone who has been on a twin flame journey at any point, if you've ever considered yourself to be a twin flame or to have encountered a twin flame, the thing about this journey is, regardless of what's happening in the physical, there is something deeply spiritual going on. There's almost this undercurrent of energy beneath the surface that you would feel as someone who is a twin flame, even if you currently are not in contact with the person that you consider to be your twin flame counterpart. In fact, even if you never necessarily desire to have physical contact with that person, or a quote unquote physical reunion state or union state in the physical realm, there is still this unifying internally and collectively, a balancing out of the collective divine feminine and divine masculine that if you are a twin flame, you are very much a part of. Because if you incarnated here intending to experience a twin flame connection at any point in your journey, then you are a soul who is playing an active role in balancing and integrating the collective divine masculine and divine feminine through doing that within yourself. That is what many are realizing as well, that there is so much individual work to be done as a twin flame, and that so much of the journey is designed to activate you in such a way where you learn to balance and integrate your own internal divine masculine and divine feminine essences and energies, which then allows you to be this beacon, a steady source of unconditional love energy on the planet. Because really, that is the ultimate end goal of the twin flame journey, so to speak. It's to learn how to fully embody unconditional love through learning that for ourselves and naturally being able to radiate that kind of frequency outward. And that can only happen when we are balanced within ourselves as well, when that inner divine masculine and divine feminine is harmonized and balanced internally. So I intend for this reading to connect with any individual who has been on the twin flame journey, so to speak, at any point, whether you tend to resonate with or use that label. There's still, I feel, a reason that you were drawn to this video. Maybe your soul knew that there was some kind of valuable form of confirmation for you in this video. So I'm feeling really guided to kind of divide this up into segments. So the first portion of the Twin Flame Collective that I'm going to be channeling into here, and we'll see how far we get in this video. I intend for this to be one video, but of course, maybe we'll end up doing a part 2. But the first collective I'd like to channel into, I would say, is one of the largest collectives on the twin flame journey. And this is what I'm going to refer to here as the independent divine feminine. What I mean when I say this is there are many divine feminines who have been activated to this journey and encountered a divine masculine twin flame counterpart who has been in somewhat of a wounded state. I'm getting for this specific group of divine feminines, by the way, I feel the need to really, really emphasize this, maybe in this video above all others I've done previously. Definitely test all of this to your intuition, meaning only take the messages that really connect for you intuitively, because we're going to be going deep into this and very specific for different groups as well. So only take what feels aligned for you. I feel that for many of you, you may be coming to this reading just for a segment of it or a portion of it that will connect. But the independent divine feminine is a group of divine feminines who have been profoundly activated to this journey through some kind of divine masculine counterpart connection. What I'm getting about this group of divine feminines is that they've always been extremely independent minded. So what I mean by this is you are someone who has always been so profoundly spiritually evolved and connected to your inner self as a divine feminine that in general, your dating life, your romantic life has been very complex because you are someone who has a very rich, deep, complex relationship with your own spirituality, with your own inner world. And while this means that there are many masculines who are drawn to you, they are often consciously or subconsciously drawn to you for the wrong reasons. They are drawn to you because of how they can sense, again, consciously or subconsciously, that you fill some kind of void for them, that you meet some kind of spiritual need that they are not interested in meeting within themselves. So I feel that for this group, your dating history or romantic life has often been marked by turbulence, by very complicated relationship dynamics, by possibly even past toxic connections, or people who seemingly were draining your energy when they were connected to you. I'm hearing that when you found or discovered, I won't even say found the twin flame journey, because if you come across this term, and of course it's created into somewhat of a fad, but if you're someone who's actually connected to this journey, it's not a fad or kind of a passing phase. It's a deeply spiritually activating experience that allows you to rediscover lost aspects of your own inner self. It's not so much of a learning about the journey, it's a realization or remembering like, wow, this is who I've always been. This has always been part of my path. And for this group of divine feminines, I'm feeling that connecting with your divine masculine, it sparked some kind of massive spiritual awakening for you and completely changed the trajectory of your life. I'm getting that meeting and connecting with this person, it created a longing to be soft and to be open with someone and to be connected with someone in a way that you've never really felt, because again, many of your experiences in love had been very toxic or complicating because, again, of the kind of light that you radiate and the kind of people that are sometimes attracted to that. And when you connected with this person, it's almost like there was stillness in your soul in a way that you hadn't experienced with anyone else. Yet I feel there is something about this connection that has been so unconventional from an external perspective. There may have been many forces or people, or maybe even people in your life who care about you, who couldn't really understand your bond with this divine masculine. This person may have not been your typical type, or there may have just been aspects of this connection that, again, were very out of the ordinary for you, and yet brought you, again, this powerfully activating spiritual experience, this awakening, but also created this sense of home in peace and stillness within your soul around another person that I'm hearing you've never really felt to that extent before or since. I'm also hearing that for this group that, again, I'm referring to as the independent divine feminine, it's the best words I can find to describe it. But for this group, part of why you've been dealing with a lot, especially romantically in your life, is because you took on a lot of karmic patterning, specifically around the wounded feminine. So I'm hearing, it's almost like you've experienced, I don't want to say every, but for some of you, it might literally be most common, pretty much every main wounded feminine dynamic that you could experience. You've either had it like as something you're kind of, you were born with or trained into societally or through your family. I'm getting that wounds around insecurity, over self-sacrifice, maybe body image issues or things related to a relationship with your own body, the way that you appear, maybe things around aging and how society judges and perceives that, especially when it comes to the feminine. I'm getting that really almost anything imaginable, you've had to go through it as a divine feminine, and this isn't by mistake. You are such a strong and ancient, powerful soul that you chose to incarnate here to heal a lot of different dynamics at once. And I'm getting a sense as well that you've always known that your mission is so much greater than many people understand. And as a result of this, you may be someone who's been pretty slow to settle, either to settle in a place, in a relationship, in a group. You have a very nomadic energy, and I'm getting that, again, is not coincidental. You were never really meant to settle because you are perpetually evolving, expanding, and again, healing many different types of wounded collective dynamics, especially for the feminine through one lifetime. But again, there's something about this one particular masculine, your divine masculine counterpart, who spiritually woke you up, like made you more conscious of this journey that deep down you'd always sensed that you'd been on. I'm also hearing after this meeting or connection point with this masculine physically, the entire trajectory of your life personally completely changed. This may have awoke new soul gifts within you, abilities, talents, new interests in, I'm hearing for some of you, you may have thought that your dreams or goals were more mainstream. And then after connecting with this masculine and having this awakening, you were sent off into this trajectory where you uncovered more mystical or spiritual gifts or abilities. Now, this is going to be very specific to a group, but like, for example, you may have had a dream of like doing something, creating something that is more like, it's more widely accepted in the 3D, but I'm hearing this spiritual awakening sent you off onto this totally new trajectory where you're uncovering certain, I would say, less widely recognized, but extremely powerful spiritual gifts, abilities, talents, and interests within yourself. I'm getting that for this specific group of feminines, your path it's diverging in some interesting ways, because I'm seeing that there's kind of like this forking off energy where for some in this group, you have disconnected entirely from the physical form of your divine masculine counterpart. You've accepted the way that they've activated you on this journey, and you've integrated that experience, and you've now reached a point of understanding where you've realized that you no longer desire some level of like physical interaction, connectedness, or what people refer to as like a physical union or reunion with that other counterpart, yet you've reached that internal state of union within yourself. And I'm hearing that if you're part of this group, you've been in this state of really magnetically attracting in masculine romantic soulmate opportunities. Now, for some of you, you may already have solidified some kind of union timeline with one of those specific masculine soulmates. And you may be developing some kind of deep romantic connection with a soulmate. And again, having like closed that door internally to desiring a physical union with your physical divine masculine. For some of you, maybe they're not even in the physical anymore. That could be why as well. But for others of you, I'm hearing that you may have accepted that they're on their own journey and that they haven't yet really been able to connect or align or harmonize with you in the state that you are in at this time, and that you are desiring a connection that is supporting you on your path in real time in the physical realm, in a way that maybe for whatever reason your physical divine masculine counterpart is not doing in their human form at this time. So I'm getting that for some of these divine feminines, again, you've split off on this pathway where you are either currently attracting in a lot of romantic masculine soulmate options, and maybe you're exploring some of those options, or for others of you, you are locking in one of those connections. Now, I am getting a very strong message that if this is for you, if you're in this group, I'm hearing don't rush it. So what I'm getting is, if you are attracting in different potential options and opportunities here, and I'm hearing many of these options are showing you what it's like to truly feel a kind of warmth and support in love that you haven't really felt in the past. It's almost like you've graduated from so many levels and layers of your spiritual journey that you've reached a point where you are now able to magnetize in these types of beautiful soulmate connections. But I feel that for some of you, there may still be that uncertainty of which path you're going to take here or how you're going to move forward. And I'm getting your intuition is really guiding you through that as well, and to allow yourself that time and space to not pressure yourself into picking or locking in a certain timeline or a certain connection before it feels fully right and aligned to your intuition. For others in this group, I'm seeing that you actually may be at a point where you are choosing to really, I'm hearing, go solo for a while, to focus fully on yourself, your self-care, your self-love. You may have actually totally stopped dating for the time being or romantically connecting. And I'm hearing that your spiritual world and your connection internally has become so rich and so fulfilling that you may be at this point where you are just thinking, I'm hearing, I love my own company more than anyone else's right now romantically. That might be kind of how you're feeling. And that's beautiful in its own right as well, if that's where you are on the journey. I'm getting that if this is where you are, you're very mission focused. Not to say that you can't be if you're on one of these other pathways, but I'm getting you are really laser focused on the kind of life that you're creating, the kind of lifestyle you're cultivating, the kind of energy you are exuding and sharing with others. I'm also hearing something about really being like a master healer or teacher, and also honing in or harnessing particular skills or abilities, maybe even exploring past aspects of yourself, past dreams or skills or abilities, and putting those into practice now or integrating those into your current life. I feel like you're just finding ways to enhance and expand and improve your life. And what I'm getting for this group, I will say, if this is where you are, know that I have to say for this group, I feel that even though you've closed the door for now on love and relationships, you are attracting in a very, very powerful, masculine, romantic soulmate. Or again, for some of you, this could be that healed version of your twin flame that you are ultimately reconnecting with. But I'm getting, if you've been feeling guided down this pathway, it's not necessarily because you're never meant to experience love or connection in a physical way, unless, of course, that's something you never want to experience again. That's entirely up to you. But for most of you, I get this sense like you've shut that door, but you're still kind of energetically, there's like this sense of, well, if the right person came along or if everything felt right, I would move forward with it. That is not by accident that you feel this way, because what I'm getting very strongly is it's not so much that you are closing the door forever as much as you are being preserved for a greater love, or being preserved for a really beautiful love connection that meets you and connects with you on all levels and layers. And again, for some of you, maybe this is the healed version of your twin flame in physical form coming back into your life. For others of you, this would be a very high level soulmate, a romantic soulmate. But regardless, the energy I'm getting from this is strong power couple, strong partnership. And I feel as though whoever this masculine is, this is someone who truly, I'm hearing, has the ability to reciprocate with you. I'm also, as I'm channeling into this, I have to say I keep picking up. I feel like I need some kind of a visual diagram here. Maybe I'll have to incorporate that in a future video because I feel like I can visually see it in my mind, but I hope that I'm doing well enough explaining it in words here. But I am getting, as I'm speaking, that for some of you, even if you're exploring other romantic connections, like you belong to that first group where you're exploring love and romance with different romantic soulmate options, but nothing's really feeling right yet. The reason nothing's really been feeling right and you're being guided not to rush into anything or lock anything in may be because you are also part of that group that is attracting in this really high vibrational experience in love. And there's this part of your soul that knows that. There's a part of your intuition that knows that you are attracting in a higher love here, a love that truly has the ability to see you and connect with you in that way that is like a partnership. Because I'm feeling that often why things haven't worked out for you in love is because you've become so self-fulfilled and so mission-focused and so powerful that often, even when there is a masculine who wants to give to you, who wants to meet you on your level, who wants to reciprocate, often they are just not in the position to do so because they haven't truly elevated themselves to that level. And so you may actually be, through following your intuition, being guided to like preserve or to like be preserved for this timeline where you are going to be, and I'm hearing if this is for you, it's going to come in out of nowhere, but feel completely right. There's not going to be that doubt. There's not going to be that uncertainty. Again, whether it is for some of you that healed version of your twin flame or this high level soulmate, I feel like your intuition is going to be so sure about it, which is something that it's almost like lately, whether you've been choosing to date or not, there's been this sense of just not fully feeling right in any particular connection. Now, for a third group here, you've already locked in this kind of higher love that we're talking about. So you were more so that like independent feminine, so to speak, but you've recently connected with, or already locked in that connection with a masculine who actually does show up for you and meet you in that way. So I'm getting that would be a group as well, but it feels like a much smaller group. So it's more so a minority of people here, part of this kind of independent feminine category. Now, this video is starting to get a little bit long, and I am going to actually, since I feel the quote unquote independent feminine is probably the largest group, I feel like it's over 50% of the twin flame global collective here, maybe even more. Well, not including the masculine. I would say of the divine feminines globally, this represents 50% or more of divine feminines in the twin flame collective. But of course, there's a lot to say about the divine masculine collective as well, and the other waves and groups that didn't come up here. But I really want to give this video its own space so that these specific divine feminines can find it. And so, yeah, if this has been for you, I would love to know how it connected for you in the comments, or to read whatever you feel guided to share with our community. And I will be continuing this channeling. I don't know if it's going to be in the next video or later on, but do let me know if you want to hear about the other waves and groups in the Twin Flame Collective in 2025. I would love to share that with you. And if this has been resonating for you and you are on a twin flame journey or have been in some way, I also want to let you know that I've created a couple different love-related subliminal meditations. But when I say love-related, I'm talking about not just romantic love, but that deep frequency of unconditional love that really transcends just love in the romantic sense. That is really the ultimate goal of the twin flame journey, to be able to embody that frequency of unconditional love and raise the vibration of the collective as well through doing that. So subliminals can really assist you in energy clearing and daily energetic hygiene, I like to call it, on this journey, which is so important, especially if you are a twin flame. You know that it's a very challenging journey, and we are all empaths to some extent as well, some of us even more so than others. So when you're energetically sensitive, and on top of that, you're experiencing this journey where you've been so profoundly activated by a masculine counterpart and gone through the resultant merging and integration spiritually, internally, this can be exhausting on your energy system. So I personally find subliminals to be really helpful to clear out those energies that we may absorb or pick up on externally as sensitives, to keep my energy in a higher vibrational, clearer state that I can almost viscerally feel even after just one listen through with the subliminals I've created. So I'm really passionate about subliminals. I use them not just for energy clearing, but to also reprogram my own subconscious and energetic field to manifest in my own life. And I've been using them for manifestation for years. I've seen really powerful results from using them more quickly than any other manifestation technique that I've tried. So if you aren't yet a member on my Subliminals app, the name of the app is Sound and Soulful. So you can find it by searching in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. I will also leave a link to directly download the app in the pinned comment and also in the description box underneath this video. But within this app, I've created over 130 subliminals for love, relationships, money, mindset, business, so many other things as well. There's even a twin flame specific category in the app for those of you on a twin flame journey. But for this reading, I would most highly recommend my subliminals for love magnetism, which will really help you to clear out any love blockages you may be storing within the 7 chakras. Also, because I feel most of you who are listening to this reading, of course, would be divine feminines, since that's what we've been talking about here. I also really recommend my subliminal called Magnetic Feminine Energy, because this will help you to really stay in that high vibrational receptive flow state that allows you to attract in the love you desire, the connection you desire, and the fulfilling life experiences and manifestations that you are aiming for in your life. I often can feel the effects specifically from this subliminal right after listening. It's like I can literally feel that magnetism in my energy field. So I really recommend giving it a try. And again, all of that is in my app, Sound and Soulful, which is linked underneath this video. So I'm going to go ahead and close this reading here. And if you would like to keep following along for future updates, as I'm going to be sharing more on this, then be sure to subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, I am sending you all huge amounts of love and light energy. Have an amazing remainder of your day, and I will connect with you here again in the next video.